Good morning, everybody. My name is Antoine Blondeau. I am the co-founder and managing partner at Alpha Intelligence Capital. I'm also the chairman of Zegal. Now, I wanted to be here with you all today. I happen to be in Israel as you see this video. Now, today I want to talk to you about what artificial intelligence is and what it means to the legal profession and to the legal world. So let me explain what AI is in a business context. In your business, you collect data, you make predictions, but the only reason why you do that is because you want to make decisions. And so what we humans determine as being intelligence in the business world, we can apply to machines. In other words, when we talk about machine intelligence or artificial intelligence, we're not talking about big data, we're not talking about predictions or predictive analytics. We're talking about self-learning decision-making engines, just like we humans are. Let me give you a few examples of how we see artificial intelligence beginning to make an impact on the world. 2 years ago, AlphaGo from Google beats Lee Sedol, the world champion at Go, and this made the headlines, as you probably recall. But this was just a game. In our world, in the real world, we see AI beginning to make an impact. For example, medical imaging. Today, computers are better able to detect problems, malignancy in a medical image than doctors are. A self-driving car today, despite the headlines, is already a lot safer than a human-driven car. And that's only going to become more pervasive and more impactful. Now, if we begin to shift now to what's of interest to us all here, which is the legal domain, let's look at some of the recent developments. Earlier this year, in February, I believe, Law Geeks, that's a startup in the legal space, legal tech, came up with an interesting study. They had about 20 experienced lawyers compete with their own AI algorithm in reviewing 5 NDAs, just NDAs. Let's not get too excited yet. But what was interesting was the outcome. Obviously, you would imagine that the machines did a lot better in terms of time, and indeed, they took 26 seconds on average to review the 5 NDAs versus, I believe, was 92 minutes for the humans. But then also, these machines were more accurate. The accuracy of detecting problems against the template was 94% for the machines against 85% for the humans. Now, of course, the other thing was that the machines didn't have to drink coffee, where the lawyers had to drink coffee to stay awake while reading their NDAs. What does this tell us? It does not tell us that machines will replace lawyers. What it tells us is that machines will be better at certain things than lawyers are, or that humans are generally. Now, if I look at this experiment, there are issues with it. For example, the granularity of the flagging or detection of issues by the machines is fairly low, it's fairly mundane. Another issue is scope. An NDA is fairly constrained in scope. If we had asked the same machine, the same algorithm to review, say, an M&A transaction set of documents, obviously the performance would have been a lot lower and probably significantly lower than that of a human lawyer, right? So we're not there yet. Machines' ability to transfer learn, to apply their knowledge to other domains, that's what it means, to create knowledge, to make inferences, to develop scenarios, to infer causality. All of this today is more or less the realm of humans and less so the machines, for sure. So where should we expect to see AI making an impact in the legal world over the next few years? Most of what I'm going to talk about now is really about search and automation. It's not quite about intelligence yet. We're talking about search, we're talking about process automation, we're talking about contract review, contract management, billing analysis, things like you do every day. But you'll see major impact, positive impact on productivity and outcomes. So for example, process automation. Many banks and insurance companies implement robotic process automations. That's the process of automating enterprise workflows. Well, what happens for, say, CRM or ERP, enterprise resource planning, HR, will also happen to legal workflows. Legal workflow here, and you'll be a lot more familiar than I am with it, will be generating documents and advancing the workflow, the process of a document throughout the organization so that repetitive tasks are fully automated. And you do that while, of course, maintaining your standards in terms of procedures, in terms of exposure, liability definition that you set. What makes it possible is that machines have, to an extent, an advantage over humans. For example, they're faster. They can learn faster. Learn simple things, but learn faster. Another thing is, if they learn once, they can transfer that learning to every other machine. Third thing is efficiency. A machine can scan a document in many dimensions very, very quickly. And finally, scalability, right? So it's one document, it's 1,000 documents, it's 10,000 documents, 100,000 documents, and that's done very, very quickly. This is why machines can do things that we cannot do, or maybe we can do, but much better, much faster. So what does that mean to us humans? Are we out of a job? Are you, the lawyer, out of a job? So first things first, relax. We're not there yet. We're still in this phase where we have a big role to play. Our human brains, have a big role to play. In the case of the legal profession, clearly, it starts with the ability of a human brain to handle very high dimensionality, highly complex problems and do it very, very well. So the complex transactions, the more involved transactions, the deals, the contracts where the ability of a lawyer to develop scenarios, the what-ifs, that will remain the realm of the human for a long time. The ability to change laws and regulation, to adapt these to new business trends, new societal trends, all of that remains also the realm of the human brain. Finally, there is a question of trust. Will you, as a client, trust the machine? Today, we haven't yet understood how we can really trust machines to decide for us. Are you willing to step in a car that is fully self-driven? That will happen in due course. That will take some time. Same thing will happen with machine lawyers. So rest assured that you have a job for the next 10, 20 years. 50 years, I cannot tell you for sure, but 10, 20 years, I can tell you. So where does this leave us? It leaves us in this era, which I call the era of augmented intelligence, where machines and humans collaborate. Machines will be able to provide lawyers with an enormous amount of highly relevant, specific information, and it will be done within the moment, at the point of need. Humans will be able to focus on what matters, what truly matters, which is value-adding tasks. That's the word towards which we are evolving now. Now I'll finish with this. To make this work, there's only one thing we need to care about, and that's our willingness to change. If we're going to collaborate with machines, become hyper-effective, hyper-productive, hyper-useful to our clients, then we need to embrace change. That's not easy. For sure it's not easy. But change is going to be part of that journey. And if you embrace change, I guarantee you, change will be good to you. And I wish you a great end of the conference. Have a great time. And we'll see you shortly in Hong Kong. Take care all.